Um, Hello. This is my output for the Migration and Diaspora plate. It's entitled "We Are in Motion." So this is what my work looks like. It's a 3D wall-bound sculpture. It's made of GI wire on an 18 by 24-inch wooden canvas stretcher. It represents a time in my life when I had to move from one house in Quezon City to another in Taytay constantly. So, traveling had always been a big part of my childhood. From second grade up until the 10th grade, I stayed with my relatives in Quezon City, and I would only go back to my family in Taytay during the weekends. So my work is a representation of that experience. The form of the work is inspired by maps and the path that I take to and from those places. So this is my concept map. Um, so I'm going to explain these. So for me, and I guess for everyone, or the main um, thing about migration is that it has something to do with two different places. So two different points in a huge space, which is, I guess, the Earth. So I wanted to convey that action of moving through map lines, since lines are also made up of 2 points. The lines in my work is the path that I take from Taytay to Quezon City and vice versa. So sometimes I use other paths as well, so I included that too. So because I included more than one path, meaning more than one line, a shape was formed. And since migration has something to do with movement, I wanted to incorporate the concept of motion itself. Even though I used the line to convey this concept, it was a static representation. So I wanted to include the actual physics of the motion into the work. Hence the small wire loops that the viewer can move around the main wire. So I'm going to play a video of me interacting with my work. So as you can see, there are wire loops here, and they symbolize a person that is moving and traveling. So I guess basically it represents me, or maybe anyone else who travel. So you can move it around. So it's interactive then, I guess. So yeah, that's basically it. And so since my work heavily draws on an experience that I've had since childhood, I wanted the form to have something to do with that time. So the form of this work copies that of a toy made for a baby or a child to improve their motor skills. So this is that toy. The wire loops that are included in my work that you can move around are inspired by this. So essentially, my work is still representative of a landscape, therefore, the orientation of my work. So I used a canvas stretcher that is manufactured for paintings as the base of my sculpture, just for juxtaposition. So my sculpture of a landscape is presented in a way that a landscape painting would traditionally have been shown to its audience. So despite being far from the medium and composition of a painting. So this is my process. So I took a screenshot of the places that I wanted to show, and I drew a line on the path between those places. And then this is the shape that was formed. Then I took the shape produced as the form of my work, and I conveyed it using some GI wire, and I bent the GI wire using a pair of pliers and some wire cutters and just my fingers basically. So the wires aren't really attached together. They're attached on the board, but they're not di sila magkakadikit. Because if I had attached them, it would prevent the devices, the wire loops, from successfully moving all around. Yeah, it would prevent these things from moving all over the place. After that, I hang the piece onto a wall, onto a white wall, and that's basically it. So that's my work. It's called We Are in Motion. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.